Welcome to first degree pattern fundamentals for the 3 black belt patterns, Kwange, Poan and Gebek. The time indices are listed in case you want to skip ahead. So let's start with the fundamental movements for pattern Kwange. The ready position parallel starts with the heaven hand. The wrists are straight, the hands are flat, and the first and second fingertip and the thumb tips just slightly overlap. We transfer the weight to the right leg as we separate the hands and lift the left leg out to the side, and then bring hands and feet together slowly into Moa Chumbi Sogi B. Here it is from the side in about half speed. Hands and feet come together, hands push slightly forwards towards the end. Kwange has lots of slow motion movements, so this is me performing in slow motion, and it is a upset punch with the hands moving together. Here it is from the side, the hands are palms down and they slowly twist palms up, and we control the hands and the feet together into the walking stance. The next fundamental is a double stepping motion into hooking block. So see how the body pivots slightly into half facing first, then we step. Now that step goes to the side of the other foot and slightly in front, which we call the side front, and then we finish the step into the hooking block. Here's that combination broken down: the pivot, the double step, the hooking block, then we slide back into a low knife hand guarding block, and we repeat the double step on the other side, hooking block, slide back, low guarding block. And next we have a high knife hand guarding block. It's not a new technique, but it's in rear foot stance in this pattern, which we haven't done before. Next we have upward palm block, another slow move in this pattern. Here it is really slow. So hands are coordinated with the feet, all coming together at the end. Upward palm block. Then we have a knife hand front block. So the hands, again, hands and feet come together in unison. It's the right knife hand into the left palm, and you can see the knife hand is on the center line. That's what a front block is. And let's look from the side, hands and feet together, and again a bit slower, time together. Next is pressing kick. It's a variation of the side kick. It's like a low side kick, but there's no pivot of the base foot. Can you see the base foot hasn't moved from its position? Now we'll see the combination. Pressing kick, rechamber, side piercing kick, then inward knife hand strike, and then side fist downward strike. Let's look at that one again. Side fist downward strike, big circular movement. Here it is again, pressing kick, side kick, inward knife hand, downward side fist strike. On the other side, pressing kick, side piercing kick, inward knife hand, downward side fist. Next we go from a double forearm block into a reverse low block. In Kwange the double forearm block is middle, in most other patterns it's high, and the body just rotates. There's no knee spring, we just drop the hip into the opposite side, but we also do it with a shift. So this is the actual movement from the pattern with the shift. The body weight goes forward slightly and push back so that the body just slides back a smidgen, and a small slide we call a shift. See, the body weight goes forwards, and as you go back you rotate the hip into the low block. We have some stamping motion in Kwange, so we've got a twin vertical punch with stamping motion. You swing the rear leg up in front and let the body weight slam into the floor with the punch. The same with upset punch. We have twin upset punch in stamping motion. Swing the leg up in front and then stamp down on the floor and time the punch with it. And the final fundamental combination from Kwange is the front snap kick, and you land foot next to the other foot and then step out into a knife hand guarding block. Look at it from the side. Kick, land and step. It's the footwork that's unusual. So the kick is finished, you land foot to foot, and the other foot steps out to form the L stance. Now we have the fundamental movements for pattern Poan. And we're going to start with a one leg stance where we lift the leg to avoid it being attacked. It's not like bending stance in the sense that the knee is pointing forwards and not at an angle, and the standing leg is straight, but it's not locked, but it is straight. So someone's attacking and we lift it out of the way. So Poan has 2 identical sections consisting of 7 movements done quite quickly. So we're going to break down the first time this happens. So we have a side block and a pressing punch. Then we do the opposite side, side block, pressing punch. The hips turns a little bit into that side block. Then we have an inner forearm wedging block. Both hands twist into the wedging block. Doesn't matter which way the hands cross for that one. Then we have a back elbow thrust, followed by a front punch with the hand on the elbow. Another back elbow thrust. And then this one is called horizontal punch. And the same section from the side. We start with the angle punch. Then pressing punch and side block. Pressing punch and side block. Wedging block. Back elbow thrust. Front punch, back elbow thrust, and Soopyong Jirugi, that's the name for horizontal punch. Next we have a low front block. The blocking tool comes to the centre line like all front blocks do. Very similar to Kwange where we had the knife hand to the palm. Now we have the outer forearm is blocking. The finger belly, that's the underneath of your fingers, goes to the wrist. But it's still a low front block. And see how when we go into X stance we're stepping. And when stepping in X stance, the supporting foot goes in front. The next technique is U-shaped grab or U-shaped grasp, Digutja Japgi. The top hand goes through an extra rotation and finishes palm up. That's so that you could grab the weapon and take it away from the opponent. And this is done in L stance, not fixed stance like U-shaped block is done. Now we have our twin side elbow horizontal thrust. In closed stance, it is done in slow motion. We finish with the 4 fists on chest line, the tips of the elbows pointing out to the sides, and we're looking in the direction that we're about to step in. Then we have our back fist side back strike. It's not new, we've done it in Taerigi, but I've just included it here as a reminder. Then we have another front block, exactly the same as the earlier one, except this time the other hand, the finger belly comes to the side fist. And then we do have a new technique, a low knife hand guarding block with the reverse knife hand. So the thumb of the blocking hand should be tucked all the way in. It's okay to tuck in the other thumb as well, but the main one is the blocking hand. Here it is from the side. We step out into sitting stance, reverse knife hand, low guarding block. Thumbs tucked in, looking at the angle. Here we have the fundamentals for Wae Bal. And we start with a new kick, twisting kick, Bituro chagi. The idea is to attack the inside of your opponent's lead leg with the ball of the foot. The kick comes up a little bit like a front snap kick and then the foot turns out to attack that leg. And then we're followed by double punch. Then we have continuous motion, rising block and low block. Of course, these aren't new, but we haven't done them in that order before in patterns, so that's why I've just highlighted it here. Next is double arc hand block, Korean do bandal makgi. So from the low block position, half facing, the hands relax up in front of the body, and then you push them at about 30 degrees off to a slight angle as you go reverse half facing. This is to defend against an object being thrown at you. Next is scooping block, or duromaki, and we do this as we lift the body and drop into the punch. It's in connecting motion, the same as the hooking block combination from Yorgok, and that's followed by a front back fist strike, bringing the fist under the elbow. The whole combination is this, scooping block punch and back fist strike. Next we have a side kick where we pull the hands towards the opposite hip. If we look at it in slow motion, see how from the thrust position, the reaction hand comes up near the other hand and you pull in to the opposite hip as you kick. Next is 9 shape block, as in number 9. The action of the arms is a bit like a guillotine. Maybe someone's grabbed you or is about to punch you. Here it is obviously super slow. The guillotining arm comes up high above your head and then straight down on the inside of the other arm. 9 shape block Gutja Japgi. Next techniques of importance to practice It's a turning kick followed by a flying side kick, landing into a twin vertical punch. A bit slower. So turning kick middle, land comfortably in front, 2 foot takeoff, gain some distance, flying side kick. Then you have to land and control yourself into the punch. The next kicking fundamental is a turning kick while shifting. So we start to lean to the side as we lift the leg to kick. We allow the body to topple slightly. That creates the movement. It's not really a jump, it's a shift. Kick to the angle, replace the foot and punch. From the opposite side, here it is from the back. Lean, which creates the shift, kick as you land. Then we have a middle knuckle, middle punch. So the middle knuckle of your attacking fist is pushed up. The reaction hand comes to the shoulder. A bit slower from the side. Slight circular motion of the punching arm. It comes around and through to about solar plexus height. Middle knuckle fist, middle punch. And the final piece of note is our continuous motion again. So continuous motion is not new, but we have a reverse knife hand low guarding block and then a normal knife hand low guarding block.